Alright, so in today's tutorial, we'll be looking at how to format text in LaTeX, and we'll be looking at how to label and refer some numbered items in LaTeX, and also how to align text in LaTeX. So the labeling and referring of an item are performed through the label command and reference command respectively, where the R key is the assigned unique reference key of the item, right? So assuming we have this particular document and want to make reference to this session, right? So first of all, you have to label it and give a name or a key, specific key to it. Then we can make reference to that by actually using the reference command, right? So let's jump into Text Studio. So I'm going to use the same document, that's a report document that we used in our previous tutorial. So let's say I want to work with chapter 2. Okay, so you can see that in this chapter we actually have labeling and reference to a figure, right? If you can recall, when we were trying to create the book and the report template, we actually look at how to make reference to tables, how to label tables and make reference to it, how to label figures and make reference to it. So if you haven't watched my previous tutorial on how to create template and how to create template on book and report, I'll urge you to watch that before you jump into this, because it's actually the same concept that you're going to apply, right? In this tutorial, we are trying to make reference to some object, yes, which we have already looked at it in our previous tutorial, right? But in that tutorial, we just look at how to make reference to tables and figures, how to label and make reference to tables and figures. In this, we want to add the session part to it, so how to make reference to session and subsessions, right? So assuming we want to refer to this session, I just have to use the label, right, and give the key. So let's say this session, I want to give the name session 1, S1 to refer to this particular session. So I want to make reference to this. So let's say here, I want to make reference to this particular session, that's session 1. So I'm going to use ref, and you see the session is popping up. So I'm going to click on that. So I want to make reference to that. So let's build and compile. Okay. Alright, so we are good to go. So that's the reference, right? So you can see that. So when I click on that, it just moves me to this session. That's the session that we labeled and we have made reference to, right? So I think we are good to go. Let's look at what is next. So similar to the reference command, there is some commands for printing the page number where a numbered item appears, right? Such commands include a page ref and this type of command. So you can try this to see how this also works, right? So we should be good to go. So now the next thing to look at is how to format some text, how to align text in LaTeX. So to do this, one thing that you have to note here is that by default, LaTeX prints text with both sides aligned, right? Now to have the text aligned in different format, right, you can use the flash left, flash right command and the center environment to actually make it work, which is going to actually align the text to left. This command is going to align the text to right, and this is going to center the text, right? Another way of doing this is to make use of the ragged right, the ragged left, and the centering command, but this will actually affect the whole document, while this affect a particular section of the document. So let's look at how this works. So let's jump into Text Studio. So I'm still going to work with this chapter. So assuming in this particular chapter, let's say let me use the first one. So in this particular chapter 2, assuming I want this to be um, I want the text to be aligned to the right. So I'm going to use the ragged um, right. Right. You can also try with the left and the centering. So, but this is going to actually affect the whole of chapter 2 throughout to the remaining chapters, right? So let's try this. All right, so you see everything has been aligned to the right. So from chapter 2, everything has been aligned to the right. So if you scroll it down, see that everything has been aligned to the right. Right. It affects the whole of chapter 2 downwards because of the declaration. Right. So you can look at it. But if you look at chapter 1 wouldn't be affected, right? If you look at chapter 1, the session is not affected. The alignment is the default type. But if you look at chapter 2, it has been affected. It has been affected, right? So you can try with the ragged left and centering, which is going to actually affect the whole of the document from chapter 2 downwards. If you want the whole document to be affected by particular alignment, you just have to move to the start from where you want it to be affected. So if I want the whole chapters, I have to introduce the command here. Let's say ragged left. I'm going to introduce this command to make sure that the whole of this together with the referencing and the appendix should be ragged left, right? So this is how you can make it work. But I don't want it that way, so I'm gonna comment on that. Right, so I don't want the whole of the document to be affected or this whole chapter to be affected by the alignment. I just want this particular paragraph of the chapter to be affected. So I'm gonna use the environment begin flash right. Right. You can also try with the left and centering, which will basically center the text. So I'm gonna copy this, right, and just paste it. Right. So let's see how this works. Alright, so you see now this portion has only been affected as this paragraph of the chapter has only been affected by the command as compared to the others is left default, right? So I think we are good to go. So basically this is how we can label and refer some numbered items in LaTeX and also how to align text in LaTeX. Please, if you find value in this video, don't forget to subscribe if you haven't, and also turn on the notification to get updates anytime I post on this channel. You can also comment, share, and like. Thank you for watching.